Jake Thompson was a shy, 19-year-old intern at GigaCorp, a towering skyscraper of a business that made him feel small, both figuratively and literally. Every day, he shuffled through the halls carrying coffee orders and filing paperwork, practically invisible to the bustling professionals around him. Despite his hard-working nature, no one seemed to notice Jake. His timid personality and unassuming demeanor made him blend into the background like office wallpaper. One fateful day, Jake was tasked with organizing the dusty, forgotten archive room on the 50th floor. Buried beneath a pile of neglected documents, he stumbled upon a strange, glowing crystal encased in an antique metal frame. Intrigued, Jake touched the crystal, which sent a sudden jolt of warmth through his body. Dizzy and overwhelmed, he blacked out. When Jake woke up, something felt off. His reflection in a nearby glass cabinet revealed a complete stranger, a stunning woman with long, sleek hair, striking green eyes, and a perfectly tailored blouse and pencil skirt. Her name tag, which hadn't been there moments ago, read, Jenna Parker, Marketing. Panicked, Jake stumbled into the hallway, her heels clicking loudly against the marble floor. Heads turned, and people began to greet her with enthusiasm. "Morning, Jenna," chirped a coworker she'd never seen before. "Ready for the big meeting?" Jake, now Jenna, stammered a reply and fled to the nearest restroom to gather her thoughts. Inside, Jenna marveled at her reflection. She was taller than before, her posture more confident, her presence commanding attention in a way Jake never had. But this wasn't just a cosmetic change, there was something deeper, a magnetic energy coursing through her veins. Jenna's transformation wasn't the only surprise waiting for her. During an intense marketing meeting later that day, a senior executive dismissed her ideas as too ambitious. Embarrassed and frustrated, Jenna felt a strange tingling sensation. Her heels dug into the carpet as she realized she was growing. Her colleagues gasped as she visibly gained a few inches in height, her head now level with the towering exec. Jenna quickly excused herself, rushing to the restroom to process what had just happened. As she stared at her taller frame in the mirror, it dawned on her, her height was connected to her emotions. Jenna's newfound presence quickly made waves at GigaCorp. Her sharp ideas and growing stature began to turn heads in a good way. Clients loved her confidence, and her colleagues sought her advice. But not everyone was pleased. Gina, the office queen bee, felt threatened by Jenna's rapid rise. She schemed to humiliate her during a team-building event by spreading rumors about her supposed secret past. Jenna, struggling to control her emotions, grew another 6 inches during the confrontation, towering over Gina. Instead of cowering, Jenna smiled confidently and turned the tables, using humor to diffuse the situation. Her colleagues burst into laughter, leaving Gina fuming. Determined to understand her transformation, Jenna returned to the archive room and discovered an old journal accompanying the crystal. The writings described an ancient civilization that believed in growth, both literal and metaphorical, as a sign of personal empowerment. The crystal was said to amplify a person's inner qualities, turning insecurity into confidence and fear into strength. Jenna realized her transformation wasn't just physical, it was an opportunity to become the person Jake had always wanted to be. One day, disaster struck. GigaCorp faced a hostile takeover from a rival company. The board of directors was in chaos, and morale plummeted. Jenna, now over 7 feet tall, took charge. She rallied her team, presenting a bold plan to save the company. Her towering presence and commanding voice silenced even the most skeptical executives. As the crisis unfolded, Jenna grew even taller, her confidence surging as she guided the company to victory. By the time the dust settled, she was nearly 10 feet tall, a literal and figurative giant among her peers. With GigaCorp saved, Jenna reflected on her journey. She had grown, literally and figuratively, into someone she was proud to be. The crystal had given her the push she needed, but the true transformation had come from within. Though she had the option to return to being Jake, Jenna chose to embrace her new identity. She continued to thrive at GigaCorp, using her unique abilities to inspire and uplift those around her. And as for her height, well, she learned to control it. Most of the time Jenna's decision to remain in her new form set the stage for the next phase of her journey. While she was thriving professionally, her personal life became more complicated. Jake's family and friends began to notice his absence, leading to difficult choices as Jenna tried to reconcile her old life with her new one. Jake's younger sister, Sophie, was the first to suspect something was wrong. She visited Gigacorp one evening, hoping to surprise her brother, but instead, she stumbled upon Jenna. Sophie's sharp eyes recognized something familiar in Jenna's expressions and mannerisms. "Who are you?" Sophie demanded, her tone a mix of confusion and suspicion. Jenna hesitated, then finally confessed, revealing everything about the crystal and her transformation. To Jenna's surprise, Sophie was less shocked by the revelation and more intrigued by her brother's newfound confidence. "Jake. I mean Jenna," Sophie said thoughtfully, "maybe this is who you were always meant to be. But you can't keep hiding. Mom and Dad need to know you're okay." Sophie became Jenna's confidant, helping her navigate the complexities of her dual identity. Together, they crafted a plan to explain Jake's absence without fully revealing the truth. Jenna's growing stature, both figuratively and literally, wasn't without its challenges. Her height fluctuated with her emotions, making it difficult to control in stressful situations. During a high-stakes pitch to an important client, her nerves got the better of her, causing her to grow uncontrollably. At nearly 12 feet tall, she accidentally knocked over a projector and shattered a glass coffee table. The room fell silent. Jenna took a deep breath, steadying herself. She crouched to meet her audience's gaze and said with a wry smile, "Well, I guess you could say I'm big on ideas." The room erupted in laughter, and the ice was broken. Jenna's ability to turn awkward moments into opportunities became one of her greatest strengths. Jenna's success didn't go unnoticed. A rival company, Zenith Industries, caught wind of Gigacorp's mysterious new star employee and sent a spy to learn her secrets. Enter Victor Hayes, a cunning and ambitious executive with a penchant for manipulation. Victor posed as a new client, charming his way into Jenna's inner circle. However, Jenna's intuition and heightened confidence allowed her to see through his facade. She played along, feeding him false information while secretly uncovering Zenith's plans to sabotage Gigacorp. When Victor's scheme was exposed, Jenna confronted him in a dramatic showdown. Standing at a towering 15 feet tall, she looked down at him with an air of authority. "If you think you can outsmart me, you're going to need a ladder," she quipped. Victor fled, humiliated, and Zenith's plans were foiled. As Jenna continued to explore the crystal's origins, she uncovered a hidden facet of its power. It didn't just amplify her qualities, it could also affect others. When Sophie accidentally touched the crystal, she grew a few inches taller and found herself speaking with newfound assertiveness. Realizing the crystal's potential, Jenna began to wonder, was it right to keep such a powerful artifact to herself? Could it be used to help others? Or would sharing it invite chaos? Jenna decided to use her transformation as a force for good. She founded a mentorship program at Gigacorp, helping young professionals, especially those who felt overlooked, like she once did, find their voice and build their confidence. The program became wildly successful, earning Jenna recognition as a leader who empowered others. Outside of work, Jenna and Sophie worked together to track down the crystal's origins, traveling to remote locations and unearthing ancient texts. Along the way, Jenna met others who had been touched by the crystal's power, each with their own stories of transformation and growth. By the time Jenna fully mastered her abilities, she had become a living legend at Gigacorp. Stories of her towering presence and larger-than-life achievements spread far and wide, inspiring others to embrace their own potential. Jenna chose to remain in her new form, not as an escape from her old life, but as a celebration of her growth. She understood that her journey wasn't about becoming someone new, it was about uncovering who she truly was all along. Years later, Jenna stood at the edge of a vast field, the sun setting behind her. She was now a symbol of strength and empowerment, her towering frame a reminder that greatness isn't measured by size alone but by the courage to stand tall in the face of challenges. As the wind whispered through the grass, Jenna held the crystal in her hand, its glow reflecting in her eyes. She smiled, ready for whatever the future held, knowing that her journey was far from over.